Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'll be doing my second Q&A video. The first Q&A video I did quite a while ago and haven't done one since then. But I recently put up my Get Ready With Me video, which was like 30 over minutes long. I didn't expect it to be so long. But in that video, I asked some of you, or all of you actually, to put out your questions. You know, anything you want to ask me about work, my fitness, you know, what I eat, and all anything within reason. And I'm so happy that some of you have put down the questions, so I will be answering them in this video. Before I get started, I just want to wish a happy Chinese New Year to all my friends who are celebrating Chinese New Year. I have been stuffing my face with pineapple tarts, and it shows, okay, it shows. Like, my face is so much chubbier, and it's no good, okay? Chinese New Year is the worst time for anyone on a diet. I'm not on a diet, so that's worse, right? Because I'm not on a diet, I'm like, more food. So I've got my laptop right here, and I'm going to put up the video whereby all of you have put in your questions. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to prop my laptop on my knees and I'm going to answer them. So MJ too sexy for you 08. You look gorgeous, thank you. My question is, when do you plan to have babies? Thank you and happy Valentine's Day. This was around Valentine's Day when I uploaded this video. And I had a similar question from Leslie Chitavong. Hi, I like all your videos, thank you. How long have you been married, and where did you meet your husband? Do you plan to have kids? So I'll talk about kids. Basically, my husband and I, we've tried for the past couple of years, or maybe more. But you know, we left it to God and, you know, the universe to let us know whether we are gonna have kids. But so far, no, it's not happened yet. So if you want to say, do I plan to have kids? It's really difficult to say you plan to have kids. I think what makes it a little bit harder is because I work in Singapore and my husband's in Malaysia. So we do spend quite a lot of time apart. That doesn't help in the baby making process, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that my heart is like, oh, I need to have children now. It's more like, well, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, we're fine, you know, we're happy. You know, as long as me and him we are happy as a couple, that is first and foremost, and then children comes next. Having kids is not something that is top priority for us. I think we are happy as we are, and of course if we are blessed with kids, we'll definitely love them as well. So yeah, I guess that answers your question. I think so. So we've been married for about 7 years now, but we've known each other for almost 10 years. 9-10 years, and we got engaged after about a year of knowing each other. Then we took another year to actually plan our marriage. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I actually met my then boyfriend, now husband, at the gym. So typical, right? At the gym. Basically, I went for his class and he was teaching a night class, so I ran there after work. And after class, I think I had my shower and all that. So I was looking at, you know, like the signboard for timetable, and he came up to me and he's like, you know, you do the gym or do class or something. I can't remember what he said to me, something. And I was like, yeah, you know, yeah, I just joined. I prefer to do classes. So yeah, you know, I can help you out. And he whips up his business card. I had a moment like, thanks. His business card was like, you know, who and who, fitness instructor, change your body, and all that kind of stuff. So it was like marketing yourself, right? What? I took his business card, I dumped it in my bag, and I think the following week I was running late from work, and I was like, oh no, the class is gonna start, because I joined classes and classes start like 8:30 to 9:30, and I was rushing from work to the class. So I remembered like, oh no, the class is gonna start. It was like 8:20. So I had I had the balls, okay, I had the mind to whip out his card because he was teaching the class, and I texted him, you know, when we still had text, okay, text. I texted him and said, don't start the class. Please don't start the class because I am on my way. I need to make it for class. And and he didn't start the class, so, you know. And then from there, I got to know him a little bit better. But to this day, I still tease him about that business card. And I think about a year ago, I was cleaning the house. I thought I threw it away, but I found it. I don't know where I found it, but I found it in one of my bags. This business card that started it all, and I stuck it on the wall. I said, this is the business card that you try to cheat me with. This is the one. I still have it. It's quite a funny story. Alright, next question. IndiePoo5. if you could have one wish, what would it be? It can be anything. So I'm gonna be really materialistic and shallow right now. Like if I had a genie in a bottle, I would wish for unlimited amount of money. I swear, it's the most shallow thing to wish for, and I'm sure there are better things to wish for, but if I did have unlimited amount of money, I would do so much more for my parents. I would bring them to places where they could never have thought about going, could never afford. They sacrificed so much during the time of bringing me and my brothers up. I realized that my parents are not traveled. They don't travel, they don't buy the best things for themselves, they don't buy the best food, they tend to keep things, and it's because they're trying to save. And they did it as parents for us, so I want to be able to do so much more for them, buy a better house for them, buy better cars for them, bring them holidays after holidays, and just do all of that for them, because so not so much for me, obviously if I have unlimited amount of money, I'll pay all my mortgages, give money to my mother-in-law, give it to my grandma, everything, and settle it. But I feel like if I had that, the first people that would gain it is not me, it's my parents. I want to do so much for them. So anyway, so that would be my wish, like unlimited flow of money. That is where it will be channeled to first and foremost. And then my husband wouldn't have to work so hard at the gym, because it's not the easiest. And so many things that I want to do for so many other people. And then we'll talk about, settling the mortgage of this house and then all the other stuff. So it will solve a lot of problems personally. So I know it's really shallow, but unlimited amount of money, man. Alright, next question. This is from Cat0126. Hi Cat. This is for the Q&A chit chat. What do you think of which is practical to buy? A Speedy B25 Damier Ebin or a Pochette Matisse? I am a luxury collector as well, that I love to have other bags of other luxury brands as well, and I need to only have one style in LV, because I want to explore other brands. I just want to know your feedback on the two styles on LV that I'm interested. I hope to hear from your thought. Take care as always. So between the two bags, I do have a Speedy 25. I don't have a Pochette Matisse, but obviously when I watch YouTube, a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people actually rave about the Pochette Matisse bag. I've seen it in store, and I do find that it is definitely very functional. It's got the 3 compartments, you can close it, it's got a long strap, and there's a lot of pockets here and there, and I feel like if it's a very good going out bag. I do think it is also very functional, just as how I find the Speedy 25 very functional as well. Both are classic bags, but I do feel like the Speedy is more classic. It's like the original bag, like that's the one. And ever since they came out with the bandolier, I feel like it made it even more versatile and more functional. But between the two bags, personally, I would still go with the Speedy B, and I also still, whether it's damier or whether it's a monogram or even the azure version, I think I would still go with that version, mainly because I feel like if I'm going to go for a classic bag, I would stick with the original classics. I feel like the Pochette Matisse does give you the similar kind of classic feel, because it's pretty classic. I mean, it's been in the LV collection for a long time, and it's quite organized because it's got the 3 compartments and all. But I feel like the Speedy B or the Speedies or even the 25 can do so much more. It has a bigger compartment, you can be organized with it, you put your things properly, or even use a little bag organizer, you can be organized with it. Plus, because it's in that kind of like boxy shape, you can fit so much more inside. So for me personally, if I had to pick between one, I would still go for the Speedy design. Next question from Jane Lee. Does your husband work as a fitness instructor? Any plans for him to come to Singapore to work so that you can spend more time together? So yes, he is a fitness instructor, and there were plans for him to come to Singapore a few years ago to work. But to be honest, between Singapore and Malaysia, the fitness industry for me, that's how we personally feel. The fitness industry in Malaysia is still developing. right? There is so much more opportunity here in Malaysia for him to grow, and you know, I would say it's less competitive than Singapore. Singapore is extremely saturated with fitness instructors. Even I, the wife, is a fitness instructor, so there's a lot of competition for it, and it's really hard. So there was some plans for him to come down, but obviously that has kind of fizzled out, so we're, you know, still seeing how it goes. And I would say that at this moment he will still be in Malaysia, and then I will still be in Singapore, and yeah, that's how it's gonna be for a while. Alright, next question from Purple Rainy 09. Will you buy bags that you know that the reselling value dropped and you're still kind of like on fence of it? I'm kind of on the fence on buying a bag from Dior, My Lady Dior, or Dior ever, because the resale value has dropped. Thanks. So this for me is a very interesting question, because I did a video quite a while ago about investment buys, and I spoke about this, how I define investment pieces in my collection. The way I look at investment pieces is buying something that I really love, that I know will last me a lifetime, a long time, that I get to use over and over again, that cost per wear is, it's paid for itself, right? So that's how I look at investment pieces. Not so much of whether I can resell the item at a later point in time. So when I go into a store or when I look at items, my first instinct on the bag is whether I love it. Like, wow, that looks like an amazing bag, it's functional and all. The point of, well, can I resell it, doesn't come across my mind, because if I'm thinking about the possibility of reselling the bag, I shouldn't buy the bag at the first place. You know what I mean? So I want that bag to last in my collection. Now, obviously, taste changes, preference changes, and then over time you're like, oh no, I'm gonna resell the bag. But as long as I knew that I have used the bag enough in that period, that it's kind of like done its due, you know what I mean? And I sell it, sadly, it didn't make up for the money, well, then maybe I should keep it, right? Maybe I should keep it, or, it's not something that I want to be saying, well, because the resale value is bad, I'm not going to buy the bag. I feel like if you're going to go into luxury, this is my opinion, okay? So if I'm going to go into luxury, I shouldn't be looking at that as one of the criteria. It's a bonus if the bag has a fantastic resale value. Then obviously the few luxury houses to stick with would be LV, Chanel, Hermes and all. But obviously the other brands, which they have beautiful bags, their resale value doesn't do so well. So does it mean it'll stop me from buying the bag? Not necessarily. Like the Dior, I still really want the Lady Dior. I know the resale value is not the best, but I don't plan to resell the bag. You know what I mean? So I find that this question is really tricky to answer, because a lot of people, even I've sold bags, okay? I'm not saying that I'm gonna not sell bags. I do sell my bags if I wanna, kind of create other bags. So I just sell a couple and then make it up for something else. But I feel like having the thought that you're gonna resell the bag makes us a little bit more fickle. Like, we are already gonna be investing a lot of money into a bag, so we should step back, reassess whether we want it, we love it, it's going to be useful for us, to suit our lifestyle. We have to answer all of these questions first before saying, well, if that doesn't work out, can I resell it? I feel like if you know that that doesn't work out, don't buy the bag at all. So I feel like the resale value portion is very tricky. Like, I don't necessarily want to resell my bags. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question. Like, for me, I think if I know I love the bag, it will suit my lifestyle, I know that I'm buying it for a specific purpose, it's done, and I know I will use it, I will still buy it if I know the resale value isn't the best. So I have bags like that. I have my Celine luggage tote, my Dior Rama bag. What else do I have? I have a couple of bags that are like, not the best, but it's in my collection. Alright, next question is from SL. She's asking, well, with such a large following, are you already a celebrity at work? So I laughed when I read this question. So I am not a celebrity at work, okay? My following is like what, I need to check, hang on, 7,300 people right now, which is really amazing because I started with like 0 and then it went on 1, 2, and then it started to get a little bit better over the years. But it really surprises me that I have a wonderful following from all of you. The support is amazing. So no, I'm not a celebrity at work. Only a few people know that I do this. This is a hobby. It's not something that I go around, rah rah, here I'm a YouTuber. No, some people know it because of my boss. She's like, you know, she does YouTube. I'm like, oh, please don't tell me I do YouTube. It's so embarrassing. And some people actually follow me, some of my colleagues, which, you know, they think it's a bit mad. You know, I've mentioned this before. I have a colleague called co-water Kiahao actually, and he thinks it's really funny that people like to see what other people have inside their bag. Which reminds me, I haven't done a what's in my bag for a long time. But yeah, he's like, who watches videos about what's in your bag? Who cares what's in your bag? I said, people care what's in my bag. And I care what other people have in their bag. It's nosy. We're nosy people. So some people get it, some people don't get it. You know, not many people know about it. Yeah, so I know I'm not a celebrity at work. I'm just me, Kat. So next question is from Galady. I hope I'm saying that right. Could you share what you do for a living and how did I start buying Hermes? You know, I've never bought anything high-end before and I don't have the courage to step into one, even though I would love to own a Lindy. I'm contemplating from buying sellers like Lex Lexicon, and I know them through your video. So I actually work in the technology industry, but I am no techie. I am the worst. I don't know how to code. I don't know how to develop anything. I'm more of the back office support, whereby I do a lot of everything. You know, I do slides, I do a lot of content work, and you know, I have my finger in everything. So it's interesting. I think what makes my job very interesting is that I am constantly learning new things. So just like the other day, I was curious, so I decided to learn how to do Adobe Illustrator, which is totally unnecessary, but drawing icons from slides. So I always get somebody else to do it for me, but at the end of the day I was like, you know what, I can draw it myself. So I decided to pick it up, and it's not that hard, but it's a little bit like slow, so I'm learning that. And I think the other day I tried to learn something else. So I guess in my job role, I have the flexibility to do a lot of things, right? I do a little bit of legal stuff, not really legal, read contracts. I consider that legal, but it's like, oh, contracts, so you gotta read contracts, and then you've got to I don't know, do slides, do videos, and it's very interesting, and I really enjoy what I do. And like the technology industry is moving so fast that I feel like I am learning things, even though at a slower pace, but I'm learning things every day, right? It's very, very interesting. So how did I start buying Hermes? So I started off with my first Hermes bag, which is not the Lindy, it's actually the Hermes Garden Party Tote, which I haven't brought it out for a while. I'm gonna dig it out. But that bag has been in my collection for let's see, 4 years now, and I still use it not regularly, but I still use it on an on and off basis. It's actually kept away really nicely because it's baby pink. It's in this pink rose sakura color, so it attracts dirt like nobody's business. So I tend to bring it out when I know I don't have to carry a lot of other things, because when I'm moving around to the office, I've got like my handbag, then I've got my gym bag, and then I've got my backpack, and then I've got my shawl, and I go, it's just like I am moving house every day. So with the additional big bag, and it's a garden party size 36, it can be quite a lot. So when I know that it's a day that I don't have to carry my backpack, I'm not going to the gym, that's the day that I will be bringing out my garden party tote. So I got into it kind of like accidentally, because I have been looking at the garden party tote for a tote bag, and while I was in Monte Carlo, I walked into the Hermes store and I was just chatting with the sales associate, and she was like, oh, hang on, I've got one bag for you. And she brought this out in this beautiful pink, and I was really crazy about baby pink that time. It's like she knew, I was pink. I love it. Pink. It's Hello Kitty pink color. It's so gorgeous. So when she brought it on the size 36, I just went, yes, give it to me now. So it was a little bit accidental. It didn't happen because I wanted to get that bag. Yeah. Next question from Amal. Thanks for sharing. How about doing some fitness-based content as well? How do you get into being a fitness trainer, and do you teach anything apart from body pump and body combat? Do I enjoy it? You had your first body pump class and you're aching all over. Yeah, so I am so happy because I remember writing back to you. I said I'm so happy that you have joined the Les Mills Body Pump family, because it is like a tribe. Okay, everybody who does Les Mills, we connect, you know, we connect. So I feel like I'm so happy that you have tried the body pump program. It is the most amazing program. I started doing body pump when I was in 21, so it's a long time ago when the body pump was still pretty young. It was like body pump, I don't know, 30, 20s, a long time ago, 40 something. And it's such an amazing program. It changes your body, gets you fitter, faster, stronger, like in no time. Of course, the first few classes are the most intense because your body is trying to get used to that different movements. The muscles are aching, but you get stronger each and every time you come back. So, okay, I'm not doing a body pump preach right now, but basically, I got into it because I was a member, just like you, that I absolutely enjoyed the program, and I felt that I could be one. I wanted to share that love of the Les Mills program back to people who started out just like me. Because the first time I did body pump, I was in university, and I remembered feeling pain, okay, I was pain. But I felt really good. I felt like the instructor motivated me to try something out of my comfort zone. So obviously after a while of doing it, it gets better, and then I wanted to be that instructor. I wanted to motivate other people to step out of their comfort zone and try something that could ultimately change their life. So that's how I got into it. You know, I felt that calling, like, oh my gosh, like that calling, right? So I only teach body pump and body combat. I used to teach TRX as well, but you know, I never really got into it because TRX is more of a freestyle class. Now, asking me to do some fitness-based content, I thought about it, but we'll see. It's really hard because I kind of, you know, visualized it in my head. I actually need to set up a couple of cameras, like one front facing, one side facing, to get different angles of the workout. We'll see, babe. We'll see. I have done some freestyle, kind of like freeletics and you know, training, you know, when you get yourself into just without any kind of weights, just your body weight, you know, the frogs, burpees and all, and just come out with a program. I've done it for personal training for some people as well, but to put it in a video, it's not so easy as just one front facing camera. You need a couple to see different angles, like when you do a push-up, front face, bottom face. So I have visualized it in my head, but the setup is no joke. So I will get back to you. I will get back to you. Alright, next question is from Geeks to Lee. What made you start doing YouTube videos? How do you handle negative comments? How do you handle crazy subbies, LOL? And how do you store your makeup and skincare, your bags? Can you do a closet tour? For makeup, because like I said, I live in 2 countries, I have the same setup for just putting all my makeup, and I'll insert a shot here. I basically have that IKEA Alexander, I think that's what it's called, where you have all the different shelves, and I just put all my makeup inside and I kind of categorize it, not in the best way. I just put a sticker and I categorize it, makeup and everything, you know, lipstick, eyeliner, brushes and all. I just put them all there. I basically put a mirror on top and I stand by that shelf and I do my makeup. I don't actually have a proper vanity to do it. As for the closet tour, I will need some time to set it up. Right now, all my bags are actually in boxes and I just stack them up one by one. I don't actually have like a beautiful, you know, display unit. And that's because it's really humid here in Asia. I feel like if I put my bags out for too long, mold will settle on it. So I actually keep them contained in the boxes with dehumidifier packs, and I keep them in a cold room that I aircon most of the time, so it's crazy. What made me start doing YouTube? Actually, it was kind of like a challenge for myself because I watched so much YouTube. I am like a consumer of YouTube that I decided to be a producer for YouTube. So I decided one day, I whipped out my iPhone, I think it was like my iPhone 5, and I did that whole, without the body, just focusing on the item kind of video and just tried out how does my voice sound and all that. But after a few videos, I decided that it's quite difficult for me to have like, my head chopped off. I felt I couldn't connect. So I decided to pop it off like full on face to you guys. It was quite scary to do that, And yeah, I decided to do it one day, mainly as a challenge for myself. And also I felt like I love watching reviews about bags. I've been a luxe lover for a long time. But I found that there were some reviews I couldn't relate to. Like, I could hear, I'm not trying to be a negative YouTuber, okay, but I'm just saying that I felt like I couldn't get enough information from some luxury videos that say, hey, how come you didn't mention about this problem, or how come you didn't mention about this most amazing part of the bag? I felt like there was some missing bits in some luxe reviews, and I don't know why. I couldn't understand why. Obviously over the couple of years I understand why now, but during that time I couldn't understand why. So I said, you know what, I need to give my review as well. So on top of that, I challenged myself to give luxe reviews. It wasn't easy because I'm not the most articulate person. So yeah, I decided to be one of those YouTubers that may talk bad things about luxe items, and I haven't stopped since. I recently popped out this new video. It's about what I'm not gonna buy it, I don't want it, and I did all that kind of thing, and I was really afraid of putting that video up because obviously that video, somebody mentioned it, like I'm shooting myself in the foot, whereby I am talking bad about luxury items and why I won't buy them. And I'm a luxe YouTuber, so I'm kind of like shooting myself in the foot. That was one question, that was one statement. And I also had another one, which I don't think it's about being negative. I think it's, in her way, it's being constructive criticism, that I shouldn't criticize other people's preferences, which I absolutely agree. So I guess it's a very sensitive community out there that, it's tough, yeah? So for negative comments, I'm really lucky that I don't get a lot of it. I'm definitely not, immune to it. I do get it. But I guess the most important thing that I've learned over the few years of being on YouTube is that you have to love yourself first, right? You have to be confident about yourself, that this is something about sharing. And if there's somebody out there who is not agreeable to you, or doesn't like you, or starts to attack you, like I had one about me being a flat face, I can't really remember the comment, but it's something about being flat face, 2D and all that. It's like being trolled. I can't remember. I'll just put a picture somewhere. But yeah, getting those kind of comments, I'm like, yes, interesting, because it's all words. The most important thing to remember that words, they say, words can cut harder and all, but if you are a confident person, that you know that life is more than YouTube, which is definitely it. I'm a very busy person. I gotta do work later, and life is family, life is my husband, life is my gym, life is everything, and it's not just YouTube. Having confidence that tomorrow is a new day, today is a gift, and that kind of confidence helps me, brush it off. I know there are some people say, just ignore them. But because I find it quite funny, for some of those really negative comments, like asymmetrical, I remember a few, right? Not all, but I just remember some of the really funny ones. Like you go like, eh? So I do answer them back with a bit of humor. I know I shouldn't, but I just can't help it. But I do get some that are like, why are you like that? They're more articulate, and they're more like, you are so disrespectful, blah blah blah, and all that. So those I will answer back with a bit more intelligence, So I would say those are more constructive criticism. Well, I don't know. I don't know whether they are constructive, but you know, there are comments. They may not be negative, but they're more you know, judgmental, strong. So really depends. I will definitely answer. I will not be like, you know, brush them off, delete off the comment. I'm not that kind of person, unless obviously they start to, you know, attack me. But yeah, I guess that's the way I handled it. I handled it by knowing that life is more than YouTube. I look at it as like, yeah, okay, interesting, and I move on. Oh my goodness, it just started to rain. I took a short break because it was getting a little long, and I was like, oh, I need my water with, you know, my water. So I was taking a break, I was having a drink of water, and then it just started to rain. Like, no joke, it is pouring outside. So Mussel Bay, New Zealand. This is really nice. I really like this. But anyway, yeah, so it started to rain. I hope the lighting is alright. I had to turn on a little bit of the ring light, but it is pitch black outside and it's raining, cats and dogs. So let's get on to the video. I think I've only got a few more questions to go. Let's see. Okay, next is from GGC. She's asking, when are you guys gonna have a little cat or a little Ray? What are the top 3 items that I always have to have in my everyday bag? And what's my all-time favorite lipstick and cologne? So, okay, first question, I think I answered that already. Little cat and little Ray, hopefully, you know, if possible this year, because I'm not like a spring chicken anymore. My husband's not a spring chicken anymore. If we don't get blessed with a kid this year or next year, then close shop. Top 3 items in my bag. I always have to have an eye drops, because lately, I have been having itchy eyes, and because I also wear contact lenses, so I can get a little bit dry, so I need to bring eye drops all the time with me. Next is I always have to bring along a rechargeable battery. It's a must because I use my phone so much, whether it's I'm checking my emails or not, but I need a rechargeable battery. And finally, I need to bring along a recycling bag, one of those that I can wrap up and roll, because when I carry out my expensive bags, like let's say if I'm bringing out my Hermes bag or anything, it rains. I don't know why. It's like the universe knows. It's like, okay, time to rain, and it just rains. I need my recycling bag to protect my bag. Not for groceries, okay, it's for my bag. And finally, what's my favorite lipstick and cologne? So for me, perfume-wise, I love, like, all time, forever, until my nose, sense changes. All-time favorite is Annick Goutal's Petite Chérie. Yeah, the world knows it as well. I think I finished, this is probably my 3rd bottle that I finished. I just finished it last week, and I haven't had the heart to buy it because it's expensive. So we'll see. Maybe Christmas or something, I don't wear perfume every day, so I can kind of live without it. But it's my all-time favorite. If I need to buy a perfume, that would be the one that I always think of. For lipstick, I'm more fickle. At the moment, I love, and I've been using so much of Bad Lieutenant from Tom Ford, which I've mentioned several times already. It's like the most perfect nudie pink for my lips. Before that, I also like the Dior, the one that's just like a lip glow. I think like a lip gloss. So I like that as well because, yeah, it's easy. It just gives a nice tint to the lip. So these are the 2 that I would say could be my all-time favorite. Tom Ford at the moment, all-time favorite. Okay, next question from Sandy Sue. Do you live in Malaysia and work in Singapore? And I actually do. So I'm, working here in Singapore, and then I also, live in Malaysia. I guess I travel a lot between the 2. I would say both countries are my home right now. Estanza, I'm visiting Singapore and KL in August. Do you know any must-eat places to go for local food with great veggie dishes? What's my favorite meal? So let's talk about my favorite meal first. I love curry. Anything curry, I'm all over it. Like curry fish, curry vegetables. But my all-time favorite curry dish is actually the curry vegetable pot. In Chinese, it's called curry choy. Choy is vegetable, so curry choy is like my all-time favorite. It's basically this pot of curry, coconut, watery soup, and they just chuck all kinds of vegetables inside. You've got brinjal, you've got lady's finger, tomatoes, cabbages, what else? All kinds of vegetables inside, and it's all soaking up all that curry coconut goodness. So good. So good with rice, and so good on its own as well, and really, really bad for the cholesterol because it's like coconut based, but I love it. I don't really know any vegetarian places, but I know a lot of places that cook vegetable dishes very well. Like, I like to eat this place in Malaysia, which is called Wasun. I go there quite well, not really regularly because it's quite far, but anyway, I like to go there to eat their curry vegetable, their vegetables, their kailan, they make it very well, their clay pot tofu is really good as well. I also know another place in Kepong, which is also pretty far for me, but once in a blue moon we go there. I won't recommend it actually, that's really local. So if you're traveling, I wouldn't recommend going to those really local places because, I mean, this is my personal opinion, because I live and breathe local food, like in Singapore and Malaysia, our stomachs can take it. So these other few places that I know are, I wouldn't say the most hygienic of all. So if you don't have that really strong belly and you're not used to the local food, you might run the risk of having a little bit of tummy upset. So I won't recommend the Kepong one, but there are some better places whereby they're a little bit more, I want to say the word clean. I don't want to say that. It's not dirty, it's just, you know, it's not like, you know, not the best. You can be like, ooh, is that a rat running by? Oops. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll put some places in the description box below and you can check it out. And the final question is from Becky Panda. What do I use to edit my videos? I actually use this software called Wondershare Filmora, and I quite like this video editing tool because it's very simple to use. I basically picked it up almost within an hour because it's so, I don't know, it's just so easy. Like, it's got a scissors to tell you to cut the video. It's got a T, which means text. It's so dummy proof, okay? I use that, and it's actually an online software where you pay a yearly subscription. So it costs about, I think, $20 a year to use their software, and it's great. I don't find any problems with it. I don't actually own any Mac computers, so I know the iMovie software comes with the computer. It may not be the iMovie Pro, but I think it's just an iMovie, which is good enough for editing videos. For me, I don't have that, so I actually have to purchase a software which is on cloud. So if you are, you know, if you want to edit videos for your, you know, just for your own, not for YouTube, you can actually use that software. You can also use, I know there are a lot of these pretty easy video editing tools to use, but it needs a pretty good computer. My computer is not that great, so it does hang a little bit because it takes out a lot of RAM power. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, you can check it out. Wondershare Filmora. So those are all the questions that I got from you guys from my Get Ready With Me video. If anyone else has any questions to ask me, anything at all, like I said, you know, it could be my work, fitness, about bags, put it all in the comments box below and I will collect them all like this video and do a new Q&A. So it was really easy for me because I could like scroll through all the questions in one video, because you guys, I have questions from a lot of my videos, like from videos like 2 years ago, comments, like it could be nice, it just could be like, hey, thank you so much for this video, but it could be a question for that video that was like 2 years ago. So when I want to do a Q&A video, it's quite a task to collect them all. So it's a lot of task. So I'm trying to take the easy way out a little bit. If you have any questions, put it in this video and I will do it again, collect them all, and then for my next Q&A video, I will check that out. So you guys take care and I'll see you in my next video.